Taka into TSM. They are a very coordinated team that knows how to deal with the hero, but at the same time, they've been banning this Taka in their other games, so I think it's something that TSM just doesn't want to worry about. They know this kind of Stormguard banner play style is really hard to shut down in terms of stealing farm and just being an absolute annoyance to the jungler. So getting rid of the Taka frees up some peace of mind. So when they run this Celeste that they like to run, he can't get to her on the back line. But at the same time, there's still plenty of other picks to be a nuisance on. And we see Sirius completing their lineup now with Samuel, Finn, and Kestrel.
Yeah, incredibly good poke will come out of the Samuel. You've got, of course, your decent range, high damage on the Kestrel. And the reposition tool coming out of Finn, I think they've got an incredibly good draft out of Gankstars Sirius here.
Yeah, I really, really like the draft. It's also weapon power and crystal power priorities coming out of them, which means you have to optimize against both. It is the same way easy for Gankstars to turn the damage back around.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. What's the biggest thing for me, and I want to keep eyes on Von C on the Celeste this game.
Wow.
It's going to be probably a pretty interesting game.
All right, this should be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Gangstar Sirius are in contention for that first place spot, depending on how everything else goes. So they're going to be playing their hearts out. Team SoloMid, I'm sure, will be doing the same. Let's pass it on over to Forecourt Jester and Tasty Bacon for our finals.
All right, thank you very much, AJ. And as he said, this is the finals. Gankstars playing with a chance to get first place on the split, but they don't control their own destiny. Even if they win this one, it will still depend on the result of that third place match. So we will be bringing you updates on that game throughout this one when we have the chance. But for now, 3-man invade into the lane coming up from TSM. See if they can find Old School. Old School had brilliant performance earlier today on this Samuel.
Yeah, Flash on the Lance, though. He's been playing a lot of Lance, and he's been winning. Here he is into the finals, right? So, Old School picking up a comfort pick. Flash X there on his there as well. Von sees the jungle Celeste, and all that damage coming down, just saying no. The status fake at the same time. Von C starting to really get hit hard, and there's Chuck going down as Old School does get that kill. Rex might actually join him. Flash, though, not hitting with the impale. This leaves Old School into a 1v2, and once we have that Drifting Dark ready to go, Old School should not drop.
Yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot of energy, but now actually gets a good chunk of it back thanks to that passive. Is going to be able to take down Flash X and grab a couple jungle minions for his troubles. Von C gonna steal one of those. It's another jungle Celeste. It was actually Nemesis that brought this out and got the victory with it, so maybe Von C saw it and said, hey, you know, that looks like something maybe I could do.
I'm gonna have to just pass this over to you, Bacon, because I can't move my camera.
Oh, well, that is definitely not good. Hopefully that can get sorted out, but for now, it's just going to be kind of farming up, but in the lane, Wrecked making a move in, and going to see if he can get any pressure onto Best Chuck, but it's really just Old School is going to be providing most of that pressure. Now here comes the rest of TSM. Again, 3-man rotation into the lane, wanting to really put an emphasis on not letting Old School get fed up to that hyper carry status.
So I'm a little curious as to why we're putting so much pressure there. I mean, Flash X up against Samuel and Status Baked. He's not really going to be getting better trades unless he leads off with that Impale, but it also doesn't feel like a comp that can really do much. Like, other than, again, that Impale, it's not like Von C is going to just randomly move forward and look for the court collapse. Like, there's not enough shock factor there. It's not a Glaive, it's not a Taka, and it's all up to Flash to make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, that's all they're engaged. If they can get that Impale, obviously the core collapse can follow and all that, but I think the really only reason for this focus in the lane is just to try and prevent Old School from being able to farm just as cleanly as he would otherwise be able to do, but it hasn't really seemed to affect him much at all. In fact, now Gangstar is going to be looking to add this pressure.
Yeah, and Von C, as I said, I mean, other than just kind of rushing forward with a core collapse, he's only going to be able to put down Helios, and until level 8, they're not exactly going to be the farthest reaching Helios either. So we're just going to bounce for now, 2-2 after that first scuffle. But Old School, if they're trying to bring him down, as you said, it's not working yet. We'll have to see what else we got up the sleeve here of TSM. But Old School still leading when it comes to the farm, but only if just barely.
Yeah, it's very close for now. Both teams, there's really been no jungle pressure, so both junglers just kind of been farming up at will and then rotating up to the lane to either try and apply aggression or to counter the aggression that's being attempted by their opponents. But it's again, like you said, though, it's kind of strange that they would put so much emphasis on this lane, because you know the Samuel, no matter what you do, even if you shut down the Samuel, eventually he's going to hit that 2-item power spike and just be a monster. So yeah, I would actually much rather have seen a lot more pressure going into the jungle, trying to take down Status Baked and trying to prevent him from being the one that gets incredibly well farmed up. But instead, it's just going to be Von C and Status both having a pretty safe time as far as the jungling goes.
All right, so we did do a little bit of shopping. Wrecked pick up that fountain, but we're not exactly going to find a timing here with this window because Flash now has picked up his. Definitely had, if barely, the money in the bank. But 5 minutes in for the roams to pick up those fountains. It's pretty good farming, at least on their side. And, Old School is going to be looking for that broken myth. Best Chuck. Looks like it's going to be a Sorrow Blade first from him, but he's going to be a little bit off that 6-minute mark. Instead, he's just going to die. Man, the 3-man just coming out. That's how you pressure a lane.
Yeah, that level of burst, it's just, there's not really much you can do about it. Status Baked is going to eat a lot of damage. Solar Storm comes out and doesn't hit, though, and instead, it is Von C going down. Gankstars will find themselves with a couple kills in their favor, and that's going to mean the jungle going over to them as well.
Old School is just going to continue pressuring out lane. As you say, the jungle is going to go the way of Status Baked. We still have a one-shot in the bank here from Status, so if Old School does get into a bit of a sticky situation, at least there could be some support from afar. Looks like Wrecked wants to at least get some shopping done, but this is leaving Old School into the 1v2. Flash is just not going to have the crowd control for this.
Not quite going to be able to find that kill, as Old School still remaining without a death 6 minutes in, despite, again, a lot of pressure. Quick update from the third place game. It's 11 minutes in currently. It is an 11-4 kill advantage with a 2k gold lead in favor of Velocity, who are also running a jungle CP Ringo.
And we're missing that. Oh, well. We'll continue to get you guys some updates on that one, but of course you can catch the VODs out there as well at Vainglory eSports. But Von C, he's going to take a bit of a dirt nap. Maybe he'll go check out some of the videos, because that was a quick 2 kills. I mean, not only did Best Chuck go down, Von C as well after the pull-in. Wrecked on point with his spin.
Yeah, absolutely on point, getting the pull-ins and then the quibbles. So much burst. Status Baked adding to that burst as well with that Sorrow Blade completed. My mistake it's actually Titan running the jungle CP Ringo, which could explain why they're getting beaten so heavily. But they are going to be looking at here back in the finals matchup. It's 6-2 with almost a 2,000 gold lead now for Gankstars. As again, Old School on the Samuel is just continuing to build up, has that broken myth. So first item power spikes for both members of Gankstars. Whereas Best Chuck still just about 100 gold shy of getting that Sorrow Blade, but he just came back from base, so it may be a little while before he's able to duck down and pick that up.
3 deaths, no kills, no assists, and some pretty suboptimal farm at this point. Yeah, Chuck is going to be struggling a little bit, as I said. He's going to be off that 6-minute mark. That's when we got the Sorrow Blade here from Status Baked. And Old School, as you see now, of course, does have his first item ready to roll. So Chuck will have the cash, just needs the opportunity. This is still a good time to fight from Gankstars. We got Anchor up, and there's not really too much that TSM's going to do about it. And there it goes, the Baron again. Dies as he impacts into a crater from that jump jet.
Yeah, he was on his way out, but got caught with that quibble, and there was enough damage to take him down. And now Old School, again, just going to be able to apply free pressure onto this lane. He's able to hit both Von C and Flash X with those shots as he throws them out and drop them both low enough, get those minions pushed in, and now rotate down, help his team with this gold mine. Gankstars starting to pull a little bit ahead here as far as the gold is concerned.
Well, Chuck is now back, does have that Sorrow Blade ready to go, but Wrecked doesn't care. Wrecked with the Polite Company. There's the fountain from Flash X. It's going to keep Von C going, but again, lots of damage. Snipe not going to hit. Well, all right, the one-shot kill will hit the Solar Storm from Von C. Just kind of off the mark, and Flash with that roll. Is that going to be enough? The Glimmer not going far enough. He will survive. Old School just kind of dueling out Best Chuck back in lane. Von C now there to reinforce, but again, 7 kills in 2. Gankstars applying the pressure.
And the analysts talked about the fact that they felt this game could be very close, and well, according to the viewer poll, they share that sentiment, as it is 55 to 45 in favor of Team SoloMid. So not currently the way the game is going, but definitely that the fact of how close these teams are and how difficult this is to call before the match starts, kind of showing with how even that poll is.
55% to TSM, you know, for reigning world champions, well, reigning NA champions, I should say.
I was gonna say, we haven't
They're
had that
world
Worlds
champions
yet.
in my heart. Don't worry, you can mark my words right now, Bacon. You would have expected a bit more of a vote, but getting cleaned up as they are, I wonder if the next vote's going to be a little bit more Gangstar-centric. We'll have to see how game one here does end up. But Old School, now 2 items, 10 minutes, Bacon. It's a pretty good pace.
Yeah, 8 to 2 on the kills, 10 minutes in, and 4,000 gold lead in favor of Gankstars. You can see Old School has that 2-item power spike. This is the devastating spike for the Samuel. As the Solar Storm is going to come out from, that was interesting, but look at Rekt. Yesterday, we saw Rekt just stacking a ton of shield in his matchups. Now he has 3 armors. Old School, though, is going to get caught. Is he finally going to fall here? No, he somehow stays alive. This is why that Samuel is so disgusting.
Well, the shield coming out there from Rekt and that Polite Company, the armor transferred over there, as well as the fountain. Yeah, I mean, Old School's going to have a good amount of sustain from that one, but even through the reflex block, I mean, they really tied him up. Not only was it core collapses, but, you know, the impale, we had the Githian wall. Best Chuck tried his best with the damage, but we'll have to see what Rekt actually does end up for a build. But if it's going to be triple armor, then I'm just going to throw my tablet out the window.
Well, hopefully for your tablet that's not the case, but Old School is going to get stunned. What a huge forced accord. Baron is down, and now so is the Celeste. Flash X, they're going to dive under the turret and look for this one.
And there it is for Old School's ace to come through. I think he only got the double from there, but man, Rekt just so on point. Popeye Ukrainian was in chat, and he's like, yeah, I mean, Rekt is just best Finn. I called him best Lance. Well, I'm kind of sharing the same opinion here now.
Yeah, these hooks and the quibbles have just been absolutely on point, catching this Baron as he's trying to jump out constantly. The Solar Storm gonna come through way too early to try and get a steal, but when you don't have vision on the map, you don't really know just how far along they are on that objective. So Von C trying to do what he can, but not getting anything there. Another gold payout means this gold lead has jumped up to 6,500 now in favor of Gankstars. And while this game started off extremely close, Gankstars are really starting to pull pretty far ahead.
And we do know that, you know, kills don't really matter. It's what you do with the kills. We've already seen, you know, an 18-24 game or the 18-1. But Gankstars have actually, you know, done really good with that lead. So I'm going to give them, again, a little bit more commendations right there. Old School is just absolutely hitting like a truck right now. And just the damage is just straight there. Rekt is looking for the kill. He'll find Von C instead. The block will keep Von C going. We got that fountain out there as well. But it's full retreat from TSM. They're really just, you know, batting down the hatches here.
Yeah, absolutely not going to be a good time for TSM right now. This jungle Celeste not really working. Old School seeing if he can't find a kill. Does get a couple shots at Mouse and Verdict around the turret. Eats an entire Solar Storm to the face. Only takes about a quarter of his health. And, I mean, Gankstars are just really dominating TSM right now.
There's the 2-item spike coming out from Von C. It's sort of 2-3 minutes behind kind of what you'd expect. But Best Chuck does actually have the Sorrow into the breaking point. Same here with Status Baked. But Old School, I mean, if it's not going to be the Aegis first, I fully suspect he's just saving up. He's just going to flat out buy, you know, something like a Frostburn next. And it's just going to be insane. He's already done so much work today, and he's living up to the standard here in Final.
Yeah, and I mean, 13.5 minutes in, 11-2 with a almost 7,000 gold lead. I mean, if Rekt keeps hitting these forced accords the way he has been all game, this is going to be a game that gets snowballed completely out of control very quickly, if it's not already there. Old School is going to get stunned, though. Nice job by Von C to stop that advance, but he's still inside the Drifting Dark, still getting that Malice and Verdict down, and they have those health bars so low on the side of TSM. Gankstars, are they going to look to dive this one, or are they just going to try and, again, just push in, get the pressure on, and then take away the jungle? Looks like at least the jungle is the option for now. Those may end up even going for both.
This is sort of what TSM was kind of doing to their opponents a bit earlier. You just put them under turret, you clean up the rest of the fold. Kraken's about to come out here as well. It's not like there's an imposed time limit that you have to invade. You have to keep hitting these turrets. You have to push the lane, but you keep them right there at that turret, and you just keep continuing to snowball the gold lead again and again and again. Eventually, we'll just hit that boiling point, and Vainglory just cannot leave that turret area. Not easily. That Drifting Dark, one more tick, I think, might have brought Vainglory down.
And instead, it's just going to be another gold mine going over to Gangstar's. Complete control over the map, and it's leading to what should be a pretty steady and clean victory for Gankstars. There's really no opportunity for TSM to get back into this game at the moment. I mean, the stun that they have from Vainglory is every time having to be used on Old School as he rotates up with that Drifting Dark. It means that they can't, use it to get into a fight. They can't have TSM, and they can't have FlashX jump in with that Impale because it would leave the back line way too vulnerable. There's just not really a lot of options for Team SoloMid right now.
Gangstar is so far ahead that they have 3 sets of infusions. We don't actually have any active here at all from TSM. So it's Kraken time, it's pushing time. Old School's 3 items, half Aegis, and with these infusions here as well. TSM not going to hold a hope here. And best Chuck, nope, you're not getting away. Old School's going to dance forward. The Drifting Dark might even still bring out Flash. That barrel roll of his just doing well. But that turret, it's donezo here, Bacon.
Yeah, that's going to be the turret going down easily. Vainglory is going to come up to try and do what he can, but knows that he has to play extremely safely on the backline. So turret goes down, second turret of the game for Gankstars, and now they are onto this Kraken.
And the Kraken going down real quick. We tried to get in position here from Vainglory for a steal. Perhaps it wasn't going to be blocked if it came in low instead of high, but it's just not going to matter. Kraken is now going to be coming down to bear on top of TSM. Still no infusions at all. I just don't think we have the cash for it here. FlashX, I mean, he could actually just save up buy. Same here with Chuck and Vainglory, but they got to do it now because that Kraken is starting its march.
Yeah, there's the infusion from Vainglory and Best Chuck, so they're at least going to have those for a potential upcoming fight. This could be the game going over to Gankstars right now, as they are going to be popping a couple of these scout traps. They spot out a few others with that flare, but Kraken is getting onto this turret. And this is going to have to be wary of when a fight starts. Old School going to be trying to get the Malice and Verdict shots in onto the turret or around it, but that's going to be another fight started.
Drifting Dark is going to be going forward. We already did use out that anchor. Only did get Vainglory, but his boots are down. The one-shot brings FlashX into the kill zone. And that's going to be Old School going 6-0-5. Oblivion says you can't stand here. Best Chuck to back up a little bit, but I think the Kraken's done what it needs to do. Best Chuck getting zerged. He's not even going to get to safety. The jump jets, another crater there, and well, the Kraken is down, but so is the whole team of TSM. Bacon, game 1 is going right to Gankstars. 45% might not be a majority vote, but we'll have to see how that next vote goes.
Yeah, just like how last season you could not give Old School Adagio, you can't give Old School this Samuel. It is absolutely crushing.